Well, hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Andrew Hochradel. I'm your host and pilot for the Daily Creative Challenges for Illustrator. Just to get out of the way, y'all know that I like to keep it 100 with you. You know that thing on flights where pilots always get different meals so that if one is bad, then the other one can still fly the plane? I had the bad meal this morning, so stomach's a little bit grumbly, so if something happens and I suddenly disappear, just send your prayers and thoughts. All right, so we are going to get through it today. It's going to be a great time. We're learning about type on a path, and we will be looking at doing badges. We're gonna be making badges today, which will be really fun. I'll show you how to type on a path, but also how to use things like warps, how to use blends, which we looked at a last challenge as well, but we'll be using it in a different way this time. And yes, there is, I do need one of those little bags in the front compartment. Thank you. Thank you, Carol. So let's go ahead and hop in, talk about where you are. You're at the Daily Creative Challenge right here in Adobe Illustrator. Let's get some vibes going with some music. And in here, you can join us every day at behance.net/challenge/illustrator is the place to be. That's where you can get all your source files. If we scroll down today, we have an awesome illustration of a nice little person and their shirt so that we can put a flight patch on. I was going to show you my little flight patch on my shirt, but it actually poked a hole in my shirt, so we're not doing that anymore. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about, this is where you can get your source files. You can click on Get Started to download that and join us. If you missed it, you can watch one of the past weeks, or you can catch us on the Creative Replay. For everyone that's watching the Creative Replay, hi Creative Replay people, glad you are here and glad you're watching. Hopefully you get to catch these live at some point. All right. The only other thing that I want to talk to you about is our Discord. And I have a lot of things to talk to you about today, but our Discord is the one that I want to talk about right now. You can go over there, bit.ly/AI Discord. And in the Discord is where you'll be posting all of your work. We are doing new projects every single day here on the Daily Creative Challenges, and you can post them in Discord to get some awesome feedback. Y'all have been going crazy on these challenges, doing amazing work. You're getting into the 3D stuff, all kinds of fun stuff. I saw someone that achieved a cheese look right here. There we go. We got dark chocolate, we got extra cheesy, and we got set in stone. So if you missed one of our past episodes, you can look at the dimensional type episode of this series and learn how to do awesome stuff like this, like something extra cheesy delicious. All right, let's go ahead and hop into our lessons. If you're just joining us, I like to do entertainment as well as information. So we're having fun. We're doing a aerospace theme, what's it called? Aviation theme through our challenges. So today is no exception. We'll be doing a flight patch. So let's go ahead and take off to 10,000 feet.
Alright, it's your pilot here checking in from the cockpit. Today we'll be doing a very special honoring of our pilots. So we're going to be doing some type on a path, and we'll cruise up to 10,000 feet. Trying to do a nice little blend, keep it in an arc. It's going to be a short flight today, so buckle up and enjoy your flight.
I forgot to put my hat on. We'll break the illusion. I forgot to do my costume change during the break, and now I can't put my glasses on. Oh, y'all, we're a hot mess today. All right, we're here, we're in the cockpit, and we're ready to fly, and this is keying out. All right, here we go. Welcome to the dumpster fire of this stream. So let's go ahead and hop into Adobe Illustrator. We are working today on our source file. Let's go ahead and read the challenge source file. Create a patch using type on a path, warp, and shape builder tools. And Wade says, time to teach the type tools to take typical type to terrific transformative territory. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Wade. All right, let's go ahead and hop in here. And you can see we have this awesome, looks familiar, right? Oh, who's this guy? Let's go ahead and hop in and talk about different ways that we can do type on a path. Now, there are a few different ways that we can do this, and I do want to start with the most basic. And the most basic way of doing type on a path would just to be to make a path. So what we're going to do is we are actually going to work on this shirt, so we can see right here, and we're going to grab the brush tool over here. So the brush tool is just B if you want that. We're going to grab the brush tool, and I am going to change the stroke on here to red. And I'm just double clicking right there on the stroke and then hitting OK just so we can see it. So with the brush selected, I'm going to go ahead and make a path, right? If we're talking about type on a path, we need a path. So I'm just going to make a little swoopity path right here. And I want it to have a little bit of a rise, a little bit of a fun to it so that it doesn't get boring, right? We don't want type to just go across in a straight line. So check this out. Let's go ahead and grab our type tool right here. And you can see our type tool usually displays as a box. That was a little Pulp Fiction moment. As a box, but if we hover over a path, you can see that it changes to a little swivel, right? It has a little swizzle there. And you can see that it actually says path if we have our smart guides turned on. If you don't have smart guides turned on, do that now. Go to View, and then scroll down here to where it has guides. And then, it has our smart guides. Andrew, where is it? There we go. Smart guides right here. Control U is also that hotkey if you want to do it. Turn on your smart guides so that when you hover over a path, it's going to show you that it's on that path, and it will give you that nice little swivel of the T. So we're going to click, and notice that we clicked. And hotkeys today, yeah, we can turn hotkeys on. So notice when I clicked on that path, it started to type on that path where I clicked, right? Very specific. So what we can do is we are going to select this path, and we want the type to go all the way across. Right now, we can see that it's starting where I clicked and then ending at the end of the path. All we need to do is click and drag this, which is the starting handle, all the way. So if we keep going left, you can see that it's starting that type, right? And there's nothing in there because it filled all of the type, and we can align it to the left point, to the center point, or to the right point, right? So looking good there. So we're gonna go ahead and align that to the center by going to our alignment up top. And then we'll grab this little node right here and pull it all the way to the left. And now the type is starting at the leftmost point, ending at the rightmost point, and here is the center. Now, if we wanna change where this lands, you can see that all of those nodes, all of these little zoomy things here, these little points are pointing up, right? Check this out. If I click and drag it down, it's going to go to the other side. So now you can see wherever those handles are pointing is where the type is going to go. We don't want it upside down, so we're just going to put it up this way. Something important to remember when you are working with type on a path is these lines are telling you where it starts and where it ends. So let's say that we type in more here. Let's type in my entire last name just because it's like the longest name ever. And if I wanted to, I could click and drag this, and it's actually going to cut off because it's going past this last point. So if anything ever gets cut off, it's probably that those nodes aren't dragged out far enough. You haven't dragged them out far enough. Let's just say that. So we've got that on the rise, and that is looking good. Another problem is that we don't necessarily, right now we're seeing it on top of that line. We actually want it in the center of that line instead of over at the top. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the subtitles for you real quick. And by subtitles, I mean hotkeys. I don't know how words work. All right, so there we go. We are on, we are rolling, and let's go ahead and hop back over to where we have our hotkeys on. All right, so we're back in. You can see the hotkeys are displaying in the middle there, and I'm just using Z to zoom in there. Now we see that it is sitting on top of that line. It is type on a path. Now we want it on a path, but we don't want it sitting on a path. We don't want type sitting on a path. We want type on the path. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have this path selected and go up here to type on a path, type on a path options. There's a lot of them. And from there, we're going to change this to center. When we turn on our preview, you can see now that it is aligned those letters to the center. It's better to see on the H because these are lowercase. You can see it's literally on the center of that H, and that's what we want. So we're gonna hit OK, and now it is aligned exactly to the center of that piece. Great, that is what we want. That is 100% what we want. Now, let's make a badge. So I want to make a little nameplate, but have it kind of curved. And this is where warps come in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a rectangle, and I'm going to pull it all the way across and make a nice little rectangle, right? We've used that before. It's just M is the hotkey to grab your rectangle. And we're going to use something called a warp. Now we're going to use it on a shape. We'll eventually use it on type as well. But we're going to go to Effect, Warp, And from here, we're going to do arc. An arc, again, is just going to give us that arc, right? This is the perfect little name badge that we want on the arc. So we're going to do arc. If we go further, it's going to go higher. If we go lower, it's going to go lower. So let's go ahead and just set this at 20. We want to kind of subtle on that arc. So we're going to hit OK here. And great. Now we have a nice little rectangle, but we need it to actually be this arc, right? We need the lines of this arc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Object and Expand. And right now it is a rectangle with an effect applied to it. But if we go to Expand Appearance, it's now made it into actual points, right? Now it is just a shape, and that's what we want. So with our Direct Selection tool, which is A right here, we're going to select this top line. We're going to hold Shift and then click and select this bottom line as well. Now, this is where it gets crazy. I want to have type across the perfect center of this at the perfect curve. If I wanted to, I could type something out and use warp on the type, but that's not going to work for me. Warping the object is one thing, and then we're going to use that in combination with type on a path. But Andrew, how do we find the middle of this shape with type on a path? Well, we go back to an older lesson and we're going to use a blend. So with these two selected, we're going to select the bottom curve using the Direct Selection tool, the white one. Hold Shift and select the top curve. Then we are going to do Edit, Copy, right? That's going to copy it. Then we're going to go to Edit and Paste in Place. What that's going to do is right now, if I just pasted this, you can see that we just have those two lines. We just have those two paths. So I'm going to go to Edit and Paste in Place, and that will paste it exactly on those paths below, right? I'm going to change this to a red line just so we can see it a little bit better right there. So we have these two, top and bottom selected, right? They are not joined at all. They are just, wow, sorry. They are not joined at all. They are just the paths that we have. Now, the way to find the center of this is a little secret. If you ever want to find the center of two objects, go to Object. With these two selected, go to Blend. Then go to Blend Options. And we're doing specified steps and do 1. If you understand how blends work, right, it's going to say we want 1 step between the top object and the bottom object. That will give us not only the middle of those two objects, but also the perfect mathematical curve as the average of those two coordinates, right? We're getting real mathy here today. So we're going to hit OK, and then we're going to make the blend by having these two selected, going to Object, Blend, Make. Something weird happened. What? Why did something weird happen? Why did it give me this? Hold on. I swear that I did this right before. We need to ungroup these. That's why. They are grouped. All right, let's go ahead and do that. All right, let's try this one more time. I'm gonna use the hotkey here. Control-Alt-B is making blend. Why? Why are you hurting me? Are there more than... Hold on. Wait for it. All right, we're trying this again, y'all. I know that it works because this is how I always do it. This is embarrassing. How embarrassing. So I'm going to do it a different way. Again, there's no wrong way. I'm going to grab these two and I'm just going to delete the edges here and see if we can get this to blend for us into the middle. So we're selecting both of these. We're making the blend and it didn't do it. What is happening? Why are we crashing and burning? All right, here we go. Another option to do. We are going to make these so that they are corners by selecting these shapes, grabbing the pen tool, and then just converting to corners, holding Alt on these corners. And that will convert these to corners. Come on, Andrew. We're ruined. This is 100%. I literally did it before and it worked. And this is 100% what should be working, but guess what? Of course it's not, because that's how it worked. Does the blend before the warp? It is not actually a warp anymore. So I'm gonna try one more time and then we're gonna move on. I really do believe that this works because I literally did it like 20 seconds ago. All right, I'm screaming. All right, so the other way that you can do this, which is what we're gonna do now, is we're gonna use the direct selection tool, grab this top line and just bring it here to the center. We're gonna do this by eye, and I'm doing this because I just wanna show you type on a path. That's all I wanna show you. And I promise that I will show you, I will show you in Discord once I figure out what's going wrong. Yay, live production. All right, so we're gonna click on here. We're gonna change this to white, and we just have that path in the middle. I'm going to type my name on there. And then from there, we're gonna do the same things. We're gonna drag this all the way out to the left. We are going to go to type on a path options, and align it to the center. We'll hit OK, and then I'll just scale down this type. And you can see as I scale down the type, it is aligning to the center perfectly because we have it aligned to the center and then again aligned to the center. So that's how you create a name tag. Let's say that we want to put this type on a path on a shape of some sort, right? Let's say that we want to do a flight sticker for the flight number that we have. Let's go ahead and make out a circle. I'm just using L as the ellipse tool to make a circle. I click and drag holding Alt or Option, which will do it from the center, and then hold Shift as well to make it perfectly circular. Then I'm going to grab the type tool, and again, not only can you do type on a path, you can also do it on a shape. But if it is a closed shape, big word of warning, if it is a closed shape and you grab the type tool and you hover over like this and it has a circle, that means that you are now moving to area type. And if I click, it's actually going to type inside that closed path. We don't want that. We don't want type in a path. We want type on a path. So we're going to go ahead and hold Alt or Option, and it will change us over to that little squiggly, which is what we want. We'll click, and now we're typing on the path. And just like the last one, you can see that it has the beginning and end. It is going all the way around. We have our center here, and then our type is aligned to the center as well. So we're going to do, let's do Hawk Airlines. I'm going to change this font just because it's going to annoy me if I don't. So we're going to do that. And now we have it, but it is upside down the wrong way. Like this is just not right. But you can see we have our little nodes here. So I'm going to grab this middle node. And sometimes this is the part that gets a little bit finicky. Sometimes you kind of got to wiggle around. We're going to grab this node and just drag it all the way up here to the top. So if that happens to where it jumps into the middle, if you kind of just go up and down with it, kind of wiggle it around, it'll eventually lock in there. When you pass a certain threshold, it's guessing where you want it because it's at that weird like 0 angle. And so if you pull it back, pull it one way, you kind of have to wiggle it around sometimes, and then it will look fantastic. So this looks great, but I do want to align it to the center. So we're going to go to type on a path options, and then set this to center again right there. So that's looking good. Let's go ahead and set this so it's a little bit wider. There we go. And the great thing about type on a path is once you have one, you can copy and paste it. So we're going to go to edit, and yes, can't divide by 0, exactly. We're going to go to copy and then edit and paste in place. And it is pasted another copy. So we don't want this copy to be exactly where it is, right? If I try to type on it, I'll just say it says fly friendly. It's crazy, right? It's on top of everything. That's not how we want it. But we can simply grab this node and start to drag it, right? And we want it on the bottom here. Come on. The bottom always gets more wonky than the top for me. There we go. So we want it on the bottom here, but we want it to face the opposite way. How do we make it face the opposite way? Easy. We grab this node and we pull it into the center here. There we go. So now we have our type perfectly on the same circle, and it is all in the same. And don't forget the type on a path option. Yes, that's a big deal. So if you want to see the actual paths you're working on, you can hit Control or Command Y, and it will show you those paths. You can see they're both on the perfect circle. They're both aligned to the center of that circle, and they are aligned in the center of the path that we have designated on that circle, right? Pretty crazy. So let's say that we do want to maybe add something like a decorative element of wings or whatnot. This is a great way to put something in the center that allows us to go all the way around. So we can grab our direct selection tool, grab our ellipse tool, excuse me, and we can hover and find the center using that smart guide. It'll pop up and say center. And then we can simply click, hold Alt or Option and Shift, and we can drag this out, and you'll see that it is keeping that perfect circle. So we're going to increase a little bit of a stroke there. Let's go ahead and do another one and bring it in. And I'm just clicking using the scale tool, which is S, to drag that into the center. And now we've got two nice little badges sitting there. And maybe we want to add some stars over on the side. And if you don't know how to do stars, what is a star other than a 5-pointed triangle? So we could do it with a polygon, but I do want to do it with a star tool. And we've looked at the star. We've looked at pretty much all these: rectangle, ellipse. But you can go down to the star tool and just click. We have 5 points down there at the bottom. We just have it set to 5. I'm gonna hit OK, and then we'll rotate it around to make a perfect little star. So you can drop a star in the corner here, and maybe a star over here. Now we've made an awesome little badge that can sit on a shirt or go in a passport booklet. If I want to change this type, again, type on a path is live type. So we can select this path, we can grab the eyedropper tool, and it will carry over all of the formatting from that other type and put it right there. Now, another way that you could have done this, let's look at a combination of type on a path and warps. So let's say that we have our rectangle here, and we have typed out our name. Man, those hotkeys are picking up everything that I'm typing. Hopefully it's semi-helpful at some point. Let's move this away from there. There we go. So we're gonna put my name in here and put it in the center. Now, on the last one, we had done the warp separately. I'm going to show you what it looks like when we do the warp the same. We can select this whole thing, and you can see that the type is on this path down here. We're going to go to Effects, Warp, Arc. And the problem that happens is as you arc, if you are putting it in there, it is going to make it a little bit wonky, right? It makes it a little bit weird between those. So I'm gonna hit OK, and you can see that that is how it looks if you just apply the warp. But if we do it separately, and I'm gonna try it again, if we make our box and apply the warp, and then, let's scale that down a little bit, got a little bit crazy. And then in theory, we expand the appearance, and we create the blend between these two. Please work, please work, please work. Did it work? It didn't work. If we create the blend between the two, or if we type on a path, let's try that. That will actually look a little bit better since I can't get the other one to work. If we drag this path down here and we type on the path, it's a compound path. Hold on, this is why it wasn't working. This is why it wasn't working. Object, path, we're doing it together, guys. Compound path, where are you? Compound path. Oh. Is this a compound path? At this point, I'm screaming. All right, anyway, if we do our type on a path here, it's actually better to do type on a path instead of doing the warp on the type in your path, if that makes sense. So instead of doing the type on the warp, if you do it on a path and put it in the center, then it will look much, much better. So we can just drag this back in here, and it's going to follow that curve a lot better and won't get as wonky and messed up. And yes, I will figure that out. I don't know why it's not working. It's literally driving me crazy, but so it goes. I do know that if we wanted to put something in the middle of two shapes, let's try this. Let's do this. Here we go. Y'all, I promise that I'm going to get this for you right now, and we have 2 minutes left, and I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm just going to make a manual path here with a curve. So we're going to make one there, and then another one that's down here so that we have this nice little path. Okay, so in theory, this is our shape. We're going to paste these, and we are going to go to Object. We are going to go to Blend. We're going to go to Make, and there we go. It has found the exact center, which is what I was trying to do. Is I grabbed the top path and the bottom path, and now we can simply click in and delete the top and bottom. Okay, I'm literally screaming. I'm gonna figure this out. I will post it on Discord of why that isn't working. I swear I've done it a million times, but that's how you find the center, is to do a blend between two objects. But what I want you to do is play around with type on a path, create that path, make it warp, make it on a circle, put it in a triangle, make a nice little badge, put it on your flight vest, and then post it in our Discord right over there, bit.ly/AI Discord. You're gonna scroll down and put that in the challenge tab is where we're putting everything. So go ahead, put it in that challenge tab. I want to see your badges, lots of circles, lots of fun, add some stars in there, have some zazz, put some wings on it, and take to the skies. I'm so sorry about the blend thing getting super wonky. I promise it worked literally 20 minutes ago. So I'll figure it out. I'll post in Discord, keep you all updated. And thanks for flying the friendly skies. I'll see you tomorrow for another challenge as we jump into pixel art. Tomorrow's going to be a good one. We'll see you then.